Hey guys, this is Rampage here with another battle, and this one is against one of my rivals, Ibebeast, and it was a pretty good battle. This is actually like a remake of the first team that like I was ever good with. It was before I started recording battles, and I'm pretty excited about using it. So let's get started. He leads with an Infernape, and I lead with an Aerodactyl, and I go for the EQ. Just because I want to bring it down to a sash, but it takes it actually pretty well, and I was surprised about that, but oh well. He just goes for the Stealth Rock, probably predicting the EQ instead of a taunt, so now I'm just go for the EQ again to try and finish it off, but he switches out until it's wheezing, and I just go for the taunt or that so it can't like burn or do anything else gay. He just goes for the T-Ball, and that's not going to do too much to me, seeing as I was unstabbed from a wheezing. So I just set up my Stealth Rocks before I die, and he just goes for another T-Ball, and that will finish me off. So now my Aerodactyl is gone, which really doesn't hurt me too much, and I just go out into my Manectric. And this is the only shiny Pokemon on my team, just because I just really like this Pokemon shiny. I really don't care too much about shiny Pokemon, but Manectric shiny just looks epic, so that's why it's the only one on my team that's shiny. So anyway, back to the battle. He sends out his Drapion, and I go for the Flamethrower in case he had like a Electivire or Jolteon to absorb the T-Ball. And this is a Specs Manectric, and I go for a second Flamethrower, and it almost finishes him off, but it really doesn't matter because he goes for the Substitute, and he doesn't have enough HP to set it up, so that won't do really too much. So it didn't really matter. So now he goes into his Hariyama, and I'm making a switch because I'm predicting Thick Fat actually, because he probably knows that I'm Specs by now, and he just actually goes for the Fake Out. So he really bluffed me into thinking that he was Thick Fat, so that's pretty good for him. Because now his Burn Orb activated, so that shows me that he's Guts. So now I go for the Calm Mind, so I could try and get some damage off on this thing. And he goes for the Payback, and that does a lot of damage, but I'm able to survive, so I could be able to attack it next turn. I really didn't have anything to take a Payback, so that's why I let my Cresselia die. I just go for the Ice Beam, and that does a lot of damage. I didn't think it would do that much, but I'm like, it's unstabbed from a Cresselia. That did a lot of damage, so that's pretty good. And after the burn damage, I'm thinking I could take it out with a Specs Thunderbolt. So I switch out into my Manectric, and after that I go for the T-Ball, and that will finish off the Hariyama, which is great. So now he goes out into his Breloom, and I really can't do anything to this with my Manectric, and I just go for the T-Ball again, and I thought he was going to Spore this turn, but he actually, well, he gets paralyzed, which is great because now his Toxic Orb can't activate. He actually goes for the Sub on this turn, which surprised me. So now I go into my Kingdra, because I just remembered that my Kingdra had the Lumberry, so even if he did Spore me, I'd wake up first turn, and then I could go for the Substitute. But I remembered that, I forgot that like a noob that I am, and he gets up the Swords Dance. So now I just go for my own Substitute, and he goes for a second Swords Dance, so this is probably his Swords Dance. Swords Dance, Superpower, Mach Punch, something like that. I don't know. And Sub, I guess. I don't really know. Not Superpower. Probably Seed Bomb or something. So I just go for the Waterfall to try and break the Sub, and after he Mach Punch and broke my Sub. So now his Sub is broken, and the Waterfall will definitely KO him, and he gets Parahax, which is very lucky for me. So I'm able to finish him off with a Waterfall and still keep my Kingdra, which is great. So now he goes out into his Wall Ring, which takes a nice amount of damage from Stealth Rock. And I'm just going to go for the Substitute, not knowing what he'll do. So He goes for the EQ, and that will break my sub. So he has an EQ on his Walrein. It's physical Walrein. I really don't know too much about Walreins because I never battled them. So I really don't know what type of set this is. And I'm just going to go for the Outrage to try and see if I can finish it off. I know these things are bulky. They just look bulky. And I didn't know if it would KO or not, and it doesn't. But he goes for the Stockpile. And since I'm locked in the Outrage and I'm faster, I'll be able to finish him off next turn. So he probably predicted a switch or something, and he just didn't get it. So I just finished him off with the Outrage, and my Kingdra is confused, but my Lumbear will snap me out of my confusion, which is great. So now I could get some more Outrages in, and he switches into his Wheezing. I'm just gonna go for the Outrage again, and that will do a nice chunk of damage to the Wheezing. He goes for the Haze, so my +1 attack and speed is back at regular at 0. And I'm just gonna go for the Outrage, seeing how much damage it'll do. I didn't think it would KO after the Haze, and it doesn't. And he's gonna go for the Pain Split, and he doesn't get too much back because I didn't have a lot of HP anyway. So I'm confused now, and I'm just trying to go for the Outrage, and unfortunately I hit, so I had a lot of luck in this battle, which is great. So now he goes out into his Infernape, and after he takes Stealth Rock, he's just going to go for the Close Combat, which will finish me off, but I have a priority on this team, which is my Dragonite, Choice Banded Dragonite, and which is named after Beast because, well, I just did that. So I just go for the Extreme Speed, Choice Banded Dragonite, and that will finish off the Infernape definitely after the defense drops. So yeah, good game, Ibebeast. Hope to battle you again sometime. Comment, rate, subscribe, guys.